Chapter 17. Dinner. Brisket, smiled Gavin, as he held up a roast dish carrying a huge cut of freshly cooked, melt in your mouth, brisket. Give me that! Morgan grabbed the dish and jokingly closed the door. He walked back to the kitchen. Morgan Felix, you open that door this instant, shouted Penny, lifting her eyebrows at her friend Tania. They were both nursing large glasses of wine. I'm kidding. He placed the dish down on the table and ran back to the door, opening it. Gavin stood there smiling at him. Sorry, mate. I thought you saved me, Morgan. I was just going to walk home. Morgan leaned into Gavin. You should have taken the hint, mate, and ran for your life. Gavin laughed again. Oh, well, I'm here now. Might as well come in for some of your wonderful food. Morgan was still whispering. Penny saw you take some girl into your house, you ladies' man. My cousin, Gavin answered, thinking on his feet. Right. She might ask you about her. Sure. Morgan winked at him. Gavin smiled. Morgan put his arm around Gavin as he guided him to the table. Tania, I'd like you to meet my best friend and next-door neighbour and celebrity chef, Gavin. Please, I'll own up to only 2 of those. Which 2? Asked Morgan. Next-door neighbour and celebrity chef, of course. Morgan pushed Gavin. You're funny. He's funny, Penny. Oh, I like this one. And he's handsome. Tania moved forward in her seat. Her right hand cradled her chin as she looked Gavin up and down with interest. Gavin felt like he was a stripper on display. He was lost for words as he took a seat. Take it easy, Tania. You'll scare him off, Morgan said as he walked over to the fridge and grabbed 2 beers. I won't scare him off. You don't scare easily, do you, Gavin? Morgan put his arm around Gavin as he guided him to the table. Gavin was speechless. He looked at Morgan and Penny for help. Morgan opened his beer and passed it over to Gavin. Shy, are you, Gavin? She smiled. I like shy guys. She smiled a wide, flirtatious grin at him. You're coming on strong, Tania, smiled Morgan as he clinked his beer with Gavin's. Oh, shush, Morgan. If only Penny could remember the last time you paid her a compliment. What? I always do. No, you don't, honey. In fact, I don't remember the last time you said something nice to me, noted Penny as she sipped her wine. Well, it takes 2 to tango. When was the last time you said something nice about me? An uncomfortable silence fell upon the room. Penny changed the subject. Gavin, who was that pretty young thing you had over yesterday? Thankfully, Morgan had prepared Gavin. Oh, that was my cousin, Jenny. Cousin, was she? Yes, she visits me every now and then. She's from up north. Right. I've never heard of her before. Morgan smiled as he finished his beer. He's probably got lots of cousins, Penny. Does he have to tell you about every single one? Nosy neighbour. Oh, shut up! Penny looked annoyed. I never saw her leave, Gavin. Penny, what the hell? Are you trying to do my job? Morgan looked pissed. It's okay, Gavin. Jenny just left as I was coming over. You probably missed her while you were drinking. What a shame. I wanted to meet her. Why? Asked Morgan, sounding heated. Morgan, your wife is just making conversation. Tania smiled at Gavin and winked. Morgan got up and grabbed another 2 beers. It's nice to know that you're single, though, Gavin. Tania gave him another wink. Well, yes, I've been single for a while. Haven't really tried, to tell you the truth. Well, that's about to change. Tania moved her chair around to Gavin's. Gavin felt scared. Drink up, buddy. It's going to be a long night. Morgan clinked Gavin's glass as they both drank their beers empty. The night seemed to go relatively painlessly. They ate their dinner with Morgan and Penny, telling each other off throughout the whole dinner. Tania tried to make small talk with Gavin. He was polite with his answers. Penny did her best to matchmake. After dinner, they played a few games of Pictionary, and Morgan tried to get them all to play Trivial Pursuit. Of course, he'd played it so often he knew half the questions by heart. They played a game of charades instead. Boys against the girls. Gavin was relieved he was with Morgan, as the girls were driving him crazy. By the end of the night, he couldn't wait to leave. At one stage, Penny was in the kitchen with Tania gone to the toilet. "What do you think of her?" asked Morgan. "Totally not my type," Gavin answered. "I told Penny. I told her you wouldn't like her. Hell, I don't like her." "It's okay, Morgan. She was trying to do me a favour." "That's not a favour, mate." They laughed. Penny came back into the room. "So, Gavin, what do you think of her?" Gavin smiled politely. "Yeah, I like her. She's really nice." "I told Morgan you'd like her." He didn't believe me. "I stand corrected. You were right, my darling," smiled Morgan. He gave Gavin an incredulous look. "So, are you going to ask her out then?" asked Morgan, laughing. Gavin gave Morgan a hard look. He was trying to be polite without letting Penny know he didn't think much of Tania. "What's that then?" asked Tania as she came back into the room. "Who's going to ask who out?" "Gavin's going to ask you out, Tania," Penny exclaimed. Tania smiled and tried to look surprised. "Wow. In that case, I'll have to say yes." Gavin didn't know what to say. "Oh, that's great." Morgan chuckled. "What's so funny, Morgan?" Tania asked, sounding pissed. "Nothing." "Morgan Felix, you are such a dick," said Penny as she filled her wine. "He is, Penny. I don't know why you married him." "I don't know why either, to tell you the truth. I was probably drunk at the time." "You were, you know." "You both were." They cackled together. "So how about tomorrow night, Gavin? Are you free?" asked Tania. "Tomorrow?" "Yes, I'm free. Are you doing anything? Shall I come around at, say, 5:30? We could get some dinner and maybe catch a movie or something. I'll check what's on and text you. What's your number?" She pulled out her phone. "Here's mine. Take your phone out and I'll give it to you. Actually, give me your phone and I'll put it in for you." Gavin gave Tania his phone. Morgan winked at him. Penny was smiling. As they all left that night, Penny and Tania stood outside talking when Morgan pulled Gavin aside. "Sorry, buddy. I got you stuck in that one." "You did. Maybe it'll work out." "You know it won't." "Oh well. Enjoy that first date." Gavin smiled. "The first and last." "I'm sure it will be." They shook hands and patted each other on their backs. Gavin turned to walk out. "And Gavin, tomorrow, don't do anything I wouldn't." "So that means do everything?" He smiled. "I hope so," said Tania as she slid up beside Gavin. She held her hands out to Gavin, and he reluctantly gave her a hug back. "See you tomorrow, handsome." She smiled at him and went straight for his lips. He had no choice but to kiss her back. "Walk me to my car?" she asked. They left waving at Penny and Morgan. Tania grabbed his hand as they walked to her car. "They look happy, don't they? What a perfect night," Penny smiled. "Yep, sure," agreed Morgan. "What does that mean?" "Nothing." "Don't you agree?" "Yeah, sure." What does that mean?" "Nothing." They turned to go back inside. "Morgan Felix, you are such a dick,"